Welcome to Red Splatter Games. Today we take a look at Friday the 13th, the game, and review it on the PlayStation 4 console. Just like the movies, the game takes place in a variety of movie locales like Camp Crystal Lake, Packanack Lodge, the Jarvis Residence, and other areas like that. And it lets you choose all different counselors based on stereotypical counselors from the movies. You got a metalhead biker dude, you've got a nerdy computer guy that's really good at repairing equipment, you've got a jock that's very tough and can fight Jason and stun him, you've got a kind of stealthy metalhead punk rock chick. Chad is the nerdy kind of chainsaw death fodder for Jason. He's a fast runner. Counselors like Jenny Myers, very, very composed, so she's not going to get frightened. Kenny Riedell is the Mario of the group. He's average at everything and great at nothing. Tiffany Cox, good stamina, good stealth, good speed. She's a very popular counselor to pick. Same with Deborah Kim, very good at repairing things and very stealthy and sneaky. You have Vanessa Jones, and she's the fast, stealthy counselor of the group, as well as Fox from the movies. So playing as Jason, you get to be Jason from Part 9. Jason from Part 2, Old Sackhead, is always very popular online. All the Jasons have different types of weapons in the game. Each Jason has his own unique weapon, and you get 3 unique weapon attacks that you can assign to each Jason. Once those 3 weapon attacks are assigned, you also have a generic kill that you can choose to assign to him as well. Some of the Jasons have advantages, like some of them can run, some of them have, better weapon strength, better grip strength, but maybe they can't teleport as fast. The teleport across the map doesn't charge as fast. Maybe they're sucky in water and swimming. So, like the counselors, all the Jasons have pros and cons depending on your play style. I prefer Jason 6 because I really like to sense where the counselors are on the map and teleport around a lot using shift. And so he's kind of the perfect fit for me. Doesn't really bother me too much that he can't run because his teleport recharges so fast. So it's all about determining your play style and really finding the Jason that fits your play style the best. Immediately I went and picked Jason 6 because he's my favorite from the movies, and I just kind of lucked out that he was the best one for my play style. Jason 8 has very weak grip strength, can't run, and he's got very weak sense, so he is not one that I would recommend starting with. He takes longer to unlock anyway, so you won't have him open from the get-go. Jason 9, another really good, well-balanced all-around Jason. So starting out with the graphics of the game, the graphics are passable, they're not fantastic. I mean, all the Jasons in the game look absolutely incredible. They've totally nailed them. They look just like they look in the movies. The counselors, on the other hand, like we just saw in that cutscene, they look pretty goofy. They have pretty plasticky, rubbery faces. So, I mean, the counselors are really probably my only complaint about the graphics in this game. Jason looks great. The environments look pretty good. They're pretty varied. It's just the counselors look pretty crap. They've released some DLC, some different outfits for the counselors and stuff that you can wear, but I mean, the DLC is paid DLC, and it's only $2 or $3 or whatever it is, but I mean, it's $2 or $3 to pay for some costumes and outfits in a game that I already feel is threadbare in terms of content. I know it's only been out for a few months, but there hasn't been a lot of content being pushed out and rolled out for this franchise yet. We've had an NES skin that was based on the Jason 3 character, so we didn't get a new Jason created for that. It was just a skin rolled out. Then we just had the Jason from the final chapter released, which is awesome. Finally, we get a new Jason. And of course, there's the Tom Savini Demonic Hell Jason that was a Kickstarter exclusive. But in terms of content, we've only had a few DLC packs, Halloween costumes, bikinis, and then we've had the new Jason, some Pamela tapes, some Tommy tapes, which are essentially just collectibles that you randomly find around the map of audio tracks of Tommy Jarvis and Pamela Voorhees. And then we've also had a reworking of a few extra maps to make them smaller, make for faster games. So we've only really had one new Jason and one new map, which is the Jarvis residence, added in as true original new content in DLC. And for me, for a game that's been out 3 months, I don't know, I think that DLC content rollout is just, it's too slow. It's unacceptable. When you contrast this with a game like Dead by Daylight, there's like 20 or 23 different maps to pick, 10 to 13 different killers to pick. It's just a much larger and much more fleshed out game than this is at this point. This game is you know, it's got the potential, it's got the original license. There's a lot of fan service there and a lot of love by the developers. I'm glad they have, you know, the Jasons look spot on. They've got, you know, Pamela Voorhees' tombstone from the movies, got her head and the sweater and all that stuff. They've got Tommy Jarvis's room from the Friday the 13th, the final chapter. They even have his alien mask that he created in there. So, I mean, the level of fan service and dedication in this game is fantastic. You know, I'm happy they added in a new counselor. I'm happy they added in Fox. I'm happy they added in the stoner character counselor. But, I mean, overall, not a lot of new content. I want to see more maps. I want to see a lot more counselors and variety between counselors. I'd love to see all of the Jasons from the films in it. I mean, even fake quasi-Jason from Part 5 needs to be in this game. And, you know, I feel like it's a good game. Their head's in the right place. You know, Kane Hodder's playing Jason. You've got, you know, Sean Cunningham greenlighting the franchise, letting them do what they want with it. You've got Tom Matthews here playing Tommy Jarvis from Jason Lives. I love that. Jason Lives is my favorite Friday the 13th film, so I was really happy to see that. But yeah, just in terms of the content, we need more of it. We need it to keep up with, not keep up with Dead by Daylight because they have a way larger team, but at least, you know, roll out the single player that was promised. I mean, that was why the game was initially delayed for so long, was because Illfonic and Gunn were working on the single player campaign, which still hasn't come. And they've released the roadmap of all the updates and DLC and everything we're getting, but I feel like there just hasn't been enough yet. There hasn't been enough content put out, and there hasn't been enough focus on fixing crippling game issues. Like, I'm glad all the bugs were worked out in terms of people glitching and cheating on Packanack, where they'd go up in the house, get stuck in the roof. You know, they'd get stuck in areas where Jason couldn't kill them. That was massively frustrating. I'm glad they've removed the ability to kill each other as counselors, because that stops people griefing, because that really got out of hand. So, I mean, they're making good steps, but I'm still waiting on one of the most fundamental issues and problems with the game currently, and that's network connectivity issues, specifically getting into a game, and how long it takes sometimes to actually find a lobby that's full of players. As you get dropped into a lobby by yourself, you have to exit out to the dashboard, you have to go back and forth, jump through a lot of hoops to get it working. And the biggest and most ridiculous issue that this game has is there's no fucking host migration between other players. I was playing Call of Duty back in 2007 on Xbox 360, and we had host migration there. That's 10 years ago. 10 years ago, and yet we still are playing a game 10 years later here, and we don't have host migration. So you have a great match, you do really well, and you survive. Jason gets pissed off and rage quits, and he's the host of the match. And now you get kicked back to the lobby. You lose all your experience, all your progress, everything. None of it sticks, and you're sent back to the lobby because Illfonic hasn't implemented host migration into the game yet. Like, this is a crippling issue that needs to be fixed. It would be an absolutely fantastic experience if it would just switch to someone else when someone rage quit or someone had a weak connection and dropped off. But as of right now, it's been going on for the past 3 months, and the amount of times I've been kicked out of a match and kicked back to the lobby because either someone had a shit connection or they rage quit like a baby. It's unacceptable in 2017 that a game online has that issue. And I think that's kind of my whole gripe with the franchise is I know it's a very small team, but you guys have sold a lot of copies. There's a lot of people playing this game. You definitely have made your money on it. So let's go ahead and start working on these crippling issues. Maybe let's flesh out the team more. Let's get some more guys on the team that can handle these networking issues and these connectivity issues that are always coming up. Let's get people rolling out and developing more content, because as it stands right now, like, Dead by Daylight is absolutely kicking ass in terms of content. And I'd love to see this game get there, because it's an awesome piece of fan service. It's got the official license, and it's a fun game. It's fun as hell to play when it works, and it's frustrating as hell and infuriating when it doesn't work. So, in its current state, I would say the game is good. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. It's good. It's a fun game. It's enjoyable. There's lots of fan service there. But, you know, with these crippling issues that I've mentioned over and over in this review, it's not great. Like, these things are quality of life issues that really, really need to be addressed and fixed as soon as possible. So that's essentially how I'm seeing Friday the 13th, the game right now. It's good. It's not great. Once we get the more content happening, get some single player, new Jasons, new counselors, lots of the bugs and glitches worked out, the connectivity issues, then it'll be in a much better place. I think it's worth the price. I think it's like $40 right now. It's not a super expensive game, so it's definitely worth the price of admission, and awesome fun to play as Jason. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think in the comments below as to whether you guys agree, disagree with my points here. And, you know, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.